Welcome.
Hey.
What's up, girl?
What up, girl?
Welcome to the episode Bonusode number 2 that we do periodically, and we just kind of kick it.
Yeah. So we're kicking.
Nothing too crazy. Just getting comfy.
I'm much more uncomfortable now. I really wish you would wear pants.
Oh man, my house, my studio.
Yeah, I guess.
Studio's in heavy exclamation quotation marks.
Well, how do you define a studio?
How do we define anything, Kyle? We define things with words. And words are the building blocks of language. Language contains multiple modes of channels of various language. And that is modified by various pidgins and creoles and dialects. So you know what? I don't know. I don't know how to define a studio.
I guess I should say, what would you define a studio as?
You gotta have a computer.
Oh, we got it. Check.
Gotta have some microphones.
Check.
Gotta have your audio interface.
Check.
Gotta have your digital audio workstation.
Check. A doll. Check.
And you gotta have 2 dicks hanging from the wall.
Checkmate. We got this. It's a studio. It's a proper studio.
That's your you gotta have birds in the background.
I really wish we didn't.
Oh, I love them. I'm very conflicted about my love for my birds.
Let's put them upstairs. Do you have a basement here?
Have you not seen the underside of my house?
Mm-mm.
So if you walk around Compass North, Compass West around my front door, a back door actually, this is a shotgun. This is a shotgun house in Old Louisville. So the back door is also the front door.
This is actually a clown house.
That's also how I operate in my relationships.
Oh.
If you catch my drift. If you catch my drift. And you go to the side, and there's actually what looks like a cellar door, but it's not bolted to the house, and it falls off. And so I just lift it up, and you have to use a giant 4 by 4 by 6 feet. So it's like a big rectangular prism block of wood that I put up. Then I have to go down into the cellar. There's no light, and that's where my AC unit is.
What?
What?
What else is down there?
There's a space heater that my landlord put down there several years ago during the cold season, and it has been overrun with water and damage. And there is some tubes and a lot. Oh my God, I cannot stress this enough. How many spider crickets are down there? Like, I would say if you were to stack them on top of each other, they'd probably weigh like 10 ounces, which is a lot in spider crickets.
I feel like the birds would like it down there.
I somehow did not see you positioning that as where to locate the birds at. You're a tricky Dick Nixon.
Also, how much would you charge me to throw a bed down there if I wanted to rent it out?
Kyle, I'd probably give you $5 stipend every month.
Dude, I can live there.
You haven't seen it.
I don't need to. I can live anywhere.
Oh, where when you say that, there has to be a bottom limit to where you can't live.
There's shelter down there.
Yeah, again in quotation marks with an underline.
Dude, I live inside of quotation marks.
I've got a car that I drive to my job and see my boss.
All things are accurate. All those are accurate statements right now. I now half of the windows in my car work. Did you know that? Did you know my back window is falling down?
I did know that. I didn't. Well, no, I didn't know that. So I was watching a TV show the other day, and do you know about? Okay, so the reason I bring this up is because there's 4 windows, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Traditionally.
If you'll allow me,
we're
just going to use the American standard nuclear family car.
All right.
4 windows. Nothing exotic, nothing new age. Good old fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
There is I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's on a popular TV show called Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And they talk about, so it's basically you're given 3 doors. And you have to pick, and behind one of them is a really big, amazing prize. But When you pitch,
I'm a scat man.
I get so excited that I start scatting. Jesus Christ. You see me at a wedding, like, and this is my that's from Tarzan, the animated one, not the gorilla cheek beating old one, because we know that he beat gorilla cheek.
I haven't seen it.
Can we be real about that?
I would say he has.
I mean, this is an inception of a tangent, but like we all know that if we found a man that was raised by any animal variety and he survived, and by the way, what's really hilarious to me about that movie, now that I'm in the field I'm in, so he's out there as a child, like as a baby, and he crashes up on the island due to the shipwreck, and his parents get killed by the cheetah, and he gets adopted. So he speaks gorilla, but when he meets Jane, she teaches him like perfect English in like a month or two. That is like almost developmentally impossible for a kid that is not taught language during those ages. It's not impossible, but it is like she would not be able to just be like point at herself and say a noun and him be like noun perfect version. Like he wouldn't even, I mean, it's so hilarious.
Maybe she also spoke gorilla.
So there's 3 doors, and behind one of the door, you pick your door.
Mm-hmm.
You pick your door, and then the spokes, the gamesman, the show host. What do you call them?
Announcer?
Yeah.
Terry Crews in this situation.
T. Cruz. Oh, yes, absolutely. That man is a national treasure / institution. So he comes out and he tells you that so you have 2 doors. So you've picked one and you have 2 doors left. He tells you it's not behind this door. It's like whatever door you picked, you stay there, but he says it's not one of these other doors. So now you're given the option, do you want to change your choice or do you want to stay the same?
Wait, he tells you it's not behind the door you picked, or
no? He said he picks another random door.
And
he
says
3.
it's not behind. So now you're down to just the door you picked and one other one.
Yes,
okay.
But so you can either stay where you're at or you can move. So there's a reason I brought. So like, which should you do? Should you stay or should you change?
This Schrodinger's prize box.
So, well, it's a cow, a fancy new dry or something.
What you're asking me what I would do?
No, I'm just saying like. So the math, it's a math problem because it's a ratio, it's a percentage. So it seems
like 50-50.
So when you pick first, you have a 33% chance, like ad infinitum, a 33 repeat end of getting the correct one. But when there's 2 options, your chance increases to 50%. So the logic is that you should change the door.
Why?
You should pick because you have a higher chance of getting it right.
But it could still be behind the one you picked.
Correct.
How is going from 50% to 50% a higher chance?
So you went from 33% to picking any door to now you can basically pretend that you didn't pick that door. You now have 2 choices and it's 50%. So the odds are better if you choose the other door.
I don't
technically, agree. Mathematically.
I don't
agree.
No,
because logic says no, you would have the same option because nothing changed behind the car didn't move. But from a pure, it's like the same. Have you heard the mathematical argument that says that like I can't remember who it is, but it's basically a guy who challenged a guy. Oh, what is it? It's like it's I can't remember. It's a geometry math problem. Basically saying that this person can never finish a race because you're always halfway of where you were halfway before.
No.
See, that's what I'm saying. When you look into those kind of mathematical, mystical quantities, like, you have those kind of allowances. But, any rational person would say, like, no, but, like, when you think about just in a pure mathematical universe, like, okay, now I'm, like, there's 100 miles. So now I'm, like, 50 miles. I'm halfway. Now I'm 25. I'm halfway that. Now I'm 12.5 miles, which is halfway. Now I'm 6 point whatever. And then it just keeps splitting ad infinitum so he can never finish the race.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
It's an interesting. I can't remember. It's called something's foot race. Can't remember what it is, but
that's math's weird, man.
Yeah, why don't you tell me about that?
That's all I got. With your pluses and your minuses. There's a lot of division.
Oh, Kyle, math gets so dumb.
No.
I'm studying for the GRE right now. I have a master's degree. I've been out of school for 5 years, and I'm being asked to do things that I didn't even remember existing back when I was in high school or undergrad.
You're going to have to, like, dissect a frog.
I mean, mathematically. I don't remember this. That you open the GRE and there's like, listen, you're gonna have to dissect a frog.
Get ready.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Like, turn to page 15. You should find your parceled frog in the back of the book with the supplementary materials. Make sure that you don't touch it or put any part of that you touch in your mouth because you will die. It is not a healthy frog. It's a sick frog.
Well, yeah, he's been in this book. It's like hollowed out a little frog habitat in there.
Oh no, but actually when I was in high school, we never dissected frogs. We dissected fetal pigs.
Ew.
Isn't that insane? And fetal pigs that were drenched in like whatever the preserving agent was. I assume it's like formaldehyde or something. And I actually, so if you are one of those hippie kids that like your parents object to doing it, I didn't have to. And I almost rejected. I didn't want to do it. I didn't think that was really beneficial to me in high school, but I remember doing it anyway and just being like, just feeling like I was gonna dump my cookies into that open pig the entire time.
Sew it back up. That seems
Somebody
like,
throw up in this pig. This pig came with vomit in it.
Oh look, this pig ate a bunch of vomited cookies. I feel like they could have showed you all video and saved a lot of bacon. That is a terrible use of bacon.
Well, but it's not. It's like pre-bacon. It wasn't even like it was. They're fetal. Like they're like in like. They are pigs that have not been born yet. Like they were disgusting.
Were they like miscarried?
Disgusting.
Or they go in there and pull them out early?
If I know the medical industry like I do, I'm pretty sure that they were aborted pigs.
Well, then wasted bacon. Let that shit ferment.
Let that ferment.
I think we dissected. I don't even remember what school this was. I don't remember what grade. Time doesn't even happen in my head anymore. This is all just one instant.
Mm-hmm.
We dissected like I don't even know what it was. It wasn't a living thing. It was like I have no fucking clue. I feel like it had something to do with an owl. Like
an owl pellet.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. That
was cool. I enjoyed that because there wasn't any living thing that I was destroying. It was the excrement of a magical forest animal. That had the little tiny rodent bones in it and a bunch of fur.
It's not quite as metal.
What's more metal than picking apart a bunch of fur and finding the animal whose fur that originated from inside, like having been digested by by a larger animal?
Dissecting the animal that laid that log.
The log laying dissection animal.
I would consider myself a hippie, but I'd be fine dissecting something.
I feel like you're saying that because you want to go and become a hunter, and you're going to have to get good with field dressing.
Dude, I have desensitized myself. I'd say like 2 or 3 years ago, I couldn't do it, but I've watched so many YouTube videos now, how-tos. And
that's so ridiculous.
Dude, I'm good. I could field dress a deer right now, and I've never even seen a deer.
I want everyone out there who's listening to know that Kyle's primary impetus behind hunting, he's not a military-minded carnivorous schadenfreude who enjoys injuring animals. He loves animals. He wants it because of the sheer yield of meat.
Dude, one white-tailed deer will get you like 60 pounds of meat.
That is I can't even imagine that because when I buy chicken titties from the store, the Kroger, I think I buy like 5 pounds at a time.
5 or 6, but then that cooks down to 3 because you lose half of that weight when you cook
60 pounds. Where would you put all that, Kyle?
I'd have to get a deep freeze. I got a list of things I have to get before.
So you're gonna Bernie your neighbor?
What?
Have you seen the movie Bernie?
No.
Where Jack it's a real story where this old, strange, curious, idiosyncratic man is like, oh man, I'm gonna misremember the story, but eventually the end of the movie, spoiler alert, is that he murders his mom or the woman who was supposed to be he was supposed to be taking care of, like his grandma or something, and puts her in a deep freezer.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I plan on murdering a deer, not my neighbor.
That's very good. That's good.
Yeah.
They're gonna ask you that.
Can't eat human meat. I guess you can. I'm not into it, though.
Have you tried human? How would you know that you're not into it?
That's a good point. I have not tried it, but there's enough deer to go around for now.
The most dangerous game. You know what? I guarantee you there's some type of market out there because, I watched an interesting movie that I've referenced called Capital about how wealth was accumulated in America and where it came from and how it's continued to be propagated and protected by the richest people. And I guarantee you that because of the disparity that there's a market for people who are like, give a chunk of your leg and get like $5,000 for creepy people that love eating human meat. I guarantee.
Like rich people?
Or just freaks, just people that have the money to pay for it.
I bet you, how there's
Or maybe not freaks, maybe just people who are curious about how the other white meat tastes.
You would think eating human meat has to be illegal, right? Because there's no way to obtain it without... Well, I guess you could eat your own human meat.
And who's going to govern you to tell you to stop eating your own meat? Stop. You can beat your meat. I'm sure you can. Let's look it up.
Is cannibalism legal?
Is it illegal to eat
people?
I was going to say to eat your own meat.
Probably isn't going to take you down a good
path. Here we go.
path.
Is it illegal to eat your own body parts? It is. Is it a crime to eat human flesh? There is no criminal charge for eating human flesh, but the National Health Act clearly stipulates that it is illegal to be in possession of any human tissue unless authorized by the relevant person or institution.
Are we authorized to have all this shit on us?
Our own meat?
Yeah.
Our own meat skins?
Are we all just about to get busted?
And Big Brother's going to come smashing in and be like, "Where have you seen?" It's like at the airport. Have you been in possession of your meat the entire time? Like, I think so.
Yes.
I don't remember I didn't leave it near the trolley.
This man's carrying 190 pounds of meat.
Oh, only 190.
No, you got some bone.
Wow.
You got 3 pounds of bone.
Oh, yeah. How many? Yeah, let's look at that.
What? Are bones legal to eat?
How many? Let's look. Is it illegal to eat human bones?
I feel like that'd be more legal.
There we go. Cannibalism. This is Cornell University law. Cannibalism is the consumption of another person's body matter, whether consensual or not.
Okay.
In the United States, there are no laws against cannibalism per se, but most, if not all states, have enacted laws that indirectly make it impossible to legally obtain and consume the body matter. Murder, for instance, is a likely criminal charge, regardless of any consent. Further, even if someone consents to being eaten and kills himself, the cannibal may still be liable for criminal or civil actions based on laws governing the abuse or desecration of a corpse, which vary from state to state. You would think that would be on the books somewhere. Like,
I feel like
this episode has taken a very strange legal turn.
Fine. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like the only thing that's stopping them from just being like, yeah, it's illegal, is you could cut off your own hand and eat it.
Oh, so I was listening. Somebody told me that there was a guy from Germany or somewhere. No. He was Japanese. And
he cut off his dick?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. He was Japanese, and he went to another country, and he was really in love with a girl, and she was obviously, I don't know if she's into her or not. He killed her. He probably did weird sex stuff to her. Killed her. He ate her or parts of her. People found out over there he was being held in a court in that other country. I want to say it's Germany or something like that, or maybe it's just another Asiatic country. And he was over there, and his country reached out to them, and they extradited him back to Japan. And he was not put in jail or anything happened to him. He was let go free because they don't see it as I don't know why. I need to look at that.
Is it because it didn't happen in Japan?
I think it's because of the loss of face. He came back and he was like, yeah, I did it. I really liked her and I wanted to know what she tastes like. And they're like, oh, he's not insane.
If you say something nice enough, you're not insane.
Japanese. I want to see.
That wouldn't work in America. Unless you're friends with the president.
Yeah, so his name was Issei Sagawa, known as the Peng or the Kobe Cannibal, is a Japanese. He's known for killing in Paris. It was in Paris. He murdered the mutilated, cannibalized, and had sex with her corpse over a few days. Anyway,
in that order?
So post-release, he was invited to be a guest speaker and commentator. Oh, okay. So he had a wealthy father. Okay, so this is the information I didn't look into.
Oh,
his father was a lawyer and got him off.
That's a good lawyer.
He was found legally insane and unfit to stand trial by a French judge who ordered him to be held in a mental institution. But after a visit, he was the account of his kill was published in Japan under the title In the Fog. Oh my God. What? He subsequently publicity and macabre celebrity likely contributed to the French authorities' decision to deport him to Japan, where he was immediately committed to a hospital. And they all declared him sane and found sexual perversion was his sole motivator. As the charges against him in France had been dropped, the French court documents were sealed and were not released, so he could not be legally detained, so he checked himself out.
That man got off pretty easy.
Wow. What? Well, that's even.
I feel like if you do that once, you're not gonna. You're gonna do it again.
Can you imagine if that had happened? Like if he had been a native to like another country, did that in America, or if he had been an American citizen happening where else and came back, he'd probably be death penalty.
Oh,
or
yeah.
like
I don't. He would have just got insanity, I'm sure, and just. Well, I mean, they declared him mentally sane.
Jesus. Okay. Anyway, well, we have gone down a very interesting.
That's fine.
Conversation path.
That's fine. Yeah, but like I feel like there's no way they're like, yeah, it was 20 years ago and now he's a school teacher and everything's fine. He likes to collect shoes. Like
it's not weird at all.
I feel like he's definitely killed, mutilated, and eaten again.
Well, that's what they say. If it was driven by sexual, what was that?
What? I keep hearing shit.
Oh,
is it my?
Oh, it's my ears ruffling against the inside of the headphones that made me think that I heard a sound.
No, I keep hearing shit over there.
It's probably the washer.
No. I'm hoping it's Kirby, but it's not.
Are you telling me that Little Rascal is back? Little Scampers?
No, it's your bird like clipping her nails or biting something. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but I got these headphones in, so it sounds weird.
So Kyle wants to kill deer because of the meat yield.
Not just deer.
People?
No.
You left yourself open.
No, only four-legged beings.
Oh. Well, the riddle, what has 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the afternoon, and 3 legs at night.
Is it a human?
Yep. So 4 legs is a baby, so you want to eat children.
No.
Dope.
No.
No.
No. I'm going to start with deer, and then...
Can I tell you something that terrifies me about being in a mental institution?
Yeah.
This is going to be really random, and I know this has been done in like movies and books and other media, but like something that's terrifying is like if you let's just say that you woke up one day and you were in a mental institution. Let's just say you warped there on accident. The more that you fervently argue and try to deny that you're not crazy, or the crazier you sound.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that scary?
You got to go with the flow, man. You never see a Zen Buddhist in a mental institution because they let them ride out.
Oh, they're like, no,
like,
I'm not supposed to be here, and I'll wait for you guys to figure that out. And they're like, okay. And you're like, all right, I'll be in my bunk.
And now you're just like, yeah, I should have been here, and I think I'm healed now. We'll see. Let me know what you think. Can I have my pills, please?
What do you think?
Is this where I shit?
Tell me where to put the poop, because I have been putting it in my own body after it falls out because I'm not crazy.
I didn't want to get in trouble.
I didn't want to get in trouble.
Oh, man.
So.
You going to eat this deer after I kill it?
Not if you give it a name.
I'm not going to give it a name. Why would I give it a name?
Because they're so sweet. I recently went to my brother who's getting married. My brother. He's getting married, brother. And he's getting married, and we went to his bachelor party. Mm-hmm. And on the way, I took the wrong road because out in rural Kentucky, they don't use roads or road signs. They just have a dude with somewhere between 2 and 4 teeth, and he's like, y'all going to go down to the creek. Make sure you turn left. Say hi to Billy Bob. No. I'm being disparaging against my own people here. These are not my people. Why am I saying that?
Yeah, these are better than your people.
Indiana Hoosiers. But and I went the wrong way, and there were just 2 deer. They were and they were just in the middle of they were off to the side of the road, but they were just like this beautiful like nature scene. They were there, and like they had the paw drawn up, and there was a mama deer and then a fawn, and they were just chilling there. And we were 5 feet away from them. They were that close to the road. I had my window down. I was talking to them. I get that from my mom.
All right.
Because I love animals and love talking to animals. And I was interacting with them. I was like, hey, what are you guys doing? You guys are so pretty. And they were just staring, and then maybe 30 seconds went by, and then they just slowly loped off into the woods. But I don't know. I feel like if you give it a name, you're giving it like a human. You're just giving it human characteristics. I'm going to project human characteristics onto that thing.
Well, I have a 2-step program to deal with that.
I'm ready. I want to hear. What is your 2-step program?
Don't give it a name.
Okay.
And don't talk to it.
This I cannot do. What do you mean don't talk to it or give it a name?
I'm going to shoot it with an arrow.
I'm going to just, you know what? I'm going to circumvent this. I'm going to use an antecedent intervention. I'm just not going to go with you.
Yeah, you weren't invited.
Good. I don't want to I don't want to go.
I feel like you would be bored like an hour
it's very
in.
meditative.
It is, but like I'm actively walking around trying to hunt a deer. I know what I think you would do. I think you would be perfectly fine and chill and talk about how great nature is until I got to look at the first deer, and then you'd be like, run, run, run. Yeah, that's exactly what you would do.
That's why I'm coming with you. I'm going to save all the animals. You're like, John, you see that beaver over there? And I'm like, where? Go! Run!
All right, well, I'm just going to feed it to you and tell you it's steak. And then afterwards, when you're like,
joke's on you. I barely eat steak.
I know, but you eat it when I make it.
Yeah, you do. You do tickle the meat. You tickle the pink.
I'm gonna do the same thing with deer. I'm gonna have my own supply of meat.
Have you had deer steak?
Yeah.
What does it taste like?
Deer.
No,
it doesn't taste as good as. I mean, it's an acquired taste.
Well, it's more lean. It's not as fatty.
Yeah, exactly. Because they actually have to like run around and stay alive. Mm-hmm. Cows are just raised to eat. Dude, I want some Wagyu. Have you ever had Wagyu?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like real Wagyu or like Wagyu in America?
Was that just a ploy to set me up to out culture me?
I just assumed.
Have you had Wagyu? Well, since you've never been out of the country, I assume you haven't.
First
had
of all,
real
I've barely
Wagyu.
been out of this county, so don't act like I'm trying to out culture you.
No, I've only had what has been available to me in the local markets, Kyle. I haven't had the international trade Wagyu fair.
But it was called Wagyu?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like a lie when they call it Wagyu here. I mean, there's different grades of it, but like if it's like a Wagyu mom and just a shitty cow dad, they can still call it Wagyu.
Well, no, it was from that restaurant. It was from Game.
Limu?
Game.
Oh.
Which is like they have all kinds of international meats like
Yeah.
kangaroo and whale and shit.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I had Wagyu there too. I just remembered I had one of their Wagyu.
Yeah, we were there together.
meatballs. Yeah, I've been a couple times.
Oh, I've only been once.
Yeah. Well, it was good. I like their bison more. But anyway, the real Wagyu in Japan is like very expensive. It's like what a steak here would be like $20. A steakhouse is like $200 there. Yeah. But if you look at it, you know what marbling is on the steak?
Yes.
It's the marbling, like it's more marbled than not. Like it's more white than red before you cook it. Because it's so fat.
So juicy.
So
boy.
juicy. Because like the history of Wagyu is they
I did not expect to go down this road today.
Why not?
All right.
You know I love meat.
All right, you know what? I'm going to give you a chance. All right, Kyle, I'm going to get off the throne here, and here you go.
So I have several books on this.
God.
I've read none of them.
God damn. God damn.
That was a zinger at you.
Oh, I know. Man, I am reticent.
All right. So basically, I think it was just like a cow they were just more predisposed to have more fat on them than muscle, and they just kept on breeding it like that, and that's how Wagyu started. And so these cows are like genetically fatter than normal cows, and they just don't make them move very much, so they don't build muscle.
That's so sad.
It's so delicious.
Is that the factory farming version of?
No, I don't think so.
Or do they have open free like ranges to?
I feel like they don't factory farm in Japan because there's not that much Wagyu. Like you can't buy a Wagyu. Like you can't buy 2 Wagyu cows and bring them over here and breed them. Like they're that like protective of that meat. So I don't think they're factory farming that. I think it's such a rarity that they probably have a good life. Yeah, Wagyu cows do have a good life, I'm pretty sure, up until they get zapped.
Zapped?
Yeah.
Is that the way they
You know, they take the little stun gun and bzz.
Oh,
Do you not know?
no. I like to think they live long, happy cow lives and die of natural causes.
No, they don't. That'd be shitty meat, dude. I've
That
been
meat would suck.
no, I've been desensitizing myself to all this stuff. YouTube's a hell of a thing.
YouTube's a hell of a what do they call shotguns? Equalizer. Equalizer. Oh. That doesn't apply in this situation.
What else you got?
Nothing. Well, you know what? I am a hypocrite because I eat meat that I'm sure. I mean, I like the packaging and it says it's free farm and free range, but who really knows? And I haven't done my due diligence to check up on it. And I eat the chicken and chicken nuggets that I know for a fact were made in a processing factory. And you know, it's really hard. I mean, there's a lot of great documentaries that, you know, show. There's actually, I went vegetarian for a year and a half when I was in my mid 20s, because my brother showed me a documentary called Earthlings. And it's true because we're all organisms. We're all sentient beings except for rocks on Earth. And, you know, it shows really the inside of like factory farms and everything. And I was so disgusted by the system that delivers our perishable commodities that I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. And then a year and a half into it, I hadn't eaten any meat as best I could, and then I was with my buddy at a Wendy's, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try a spicy chicken sandwich, and I'm gonna eat it, and I'm sure it tastes awful because I haven't had chicken, and it broke me.
Yeah, dude.
It melted me down. It tore me apart.
As humans, we're supposed to eat.
And
meat.
then I went right back to being a carnivore.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Like not eating meat is bad for you. Like if you do it perfectly. If you're a vegetarian and you're taking in like, you pretty much have to be eating like vegetarian protein powder or something, and beans,
scone
and beans. Like you're still probably gonna be malnourished because like it's protein. It's so good in animal foods.
I don't know. I think that the diets, I think that it's perfectly viable. I definitely think it's way harder to get the nutrition and the information and nutritional diet information in one place. And obviously we have the internet now. It's easy, but I feel like historically to eat that way is usually a cultural thing. And because we're such a red meat burger country, that's just not available as here as maybe it is in other countries where that's more normative.
But are you arguing that you don't think humans should you're saying that you think if everyone did go vegetarian we'd be perfectly fine?
No. I'm saying no. I know for a fact we're evolutionarily designed to eat we're omnivores. Where you have flat grinding teeth for plants and incisors and sharp teeth for tearing apart meat, like our carnivorous animalistic relatives. No, I'm just saying that I think that it's like all things being equal, it's easier to be a meat eater and get your protein source and everything. I think it's a lot more complicated to be vegetarian or vegan. You know, I know there's a lot of stores now, but just, you know, by and large, I think that it's more difficult to be as healthy or get the nutrients and vitamins you need. Otherwise. And maybe that's just my ignorance.
No,
I could be completely
You could
wrong.
Do it. I wasn't saying
no,
you
people
can't
do.
It.
Yeah.
But I would say 90% of vegetarians are protein deficient. But
unless they eat a lot of beans or tofu.
You know how much
soy
beans you'd have to eat to get your daily recommended value of protein? I do.
How much, Kyle?
Couple cans.
Yeah.
It's enough to shit yourself.
Enough to never trust another colon cough.
Dude.
Kyle has been on a bean kick for like the last few weeks, and he just texts me and he's like, guess how many beans I have in my body right now? And I'm like, are you talking? I got nothing.
At one point, it was at least 5 pounds.
Yeah, you consumed in mass quantities giant cans of just these terrible like what's the word, like unseasoned beans. Like you're just eating raw beans.
I mean, I microwaved them. They weren't like out of the can.
You do not have to
like,
live that type of vegetarian Spartan lifestyle.
I don't
just
have to.
Kyle's got the two major food groups, the B groups, beans and bananas.
Dude, I've been smashing some bananas.
Bananas.
And they're perfect as they are. You don't need to do anything to them.
Nope. Nanners come the way the good Lord intended.
Actually, they don't. You know how much we genetically...
I know. This is fun.
All right, cool.
Because like regular plantains were like unsweetened, awful, nasty plants.
Most of them were unedible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Inedible.
Unedible is the same thing.
Uneatable, not foodable. They were not foodable.
Non-chewable. Yeah. So, dude, I've been averaging like 7 bananas every 2 days, and that's just because I don't go to the store every day. I've really been averaging 7 bananas every day, and then I just don't eat bananas the next day. Is how that's working.
I love it. You're like, well, I have this really awesome system where I eat all the bananas I have, and then I'm too full of bananas to go to the store the next day.
Not even too full, man. It's too lazy. I walk over to Rainbow Blossom if I get done running and get some.
Which is a local holistic food store.
Very overpriced, but for some reason I feel better about walking in there being drenched in sweat after the gym than walking into Kroger being drenched in sweat.
Oh, that that the demographic of people that shop in Rainbow Blossom are just as sweaty as you are.
Yeah, and they don't like deodorant, so.
No. I mean, who does though? Like I really do prefer my natural.
They don't tolerate deodorant.
Yeah.
I'll say. I don't think anyone enjoys swiping under their arms, but
I prefer my natural musk. Like, dude, there are days where I will, like, especially now in the C word times, I will wake up at the ripe ass crack of dawn at 2:00 in the afternoon, and I will have been sweating in my sleep for some reason, and I'll wake up and it smells just like someone opened a sour cream and onion factory in my house.
You like that?
So, no. Oh, I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay.
And then I get on my treadmill and I bang out 6 miles. And then, like, while I'm running and my arms are, like, jostling the scent to and fro and to, oh, man, there's something that's, like, I take this macabre, just sensory, culinary, like, just this olfactory pleasure in how terrible it smells.
I cannot relate.
You're like, that's disgusting.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I totally get. I understand what you're saying. I just can't understand it from my perspective. When I start smelling myself, I have to take a shower.
You don't like the stank?
No, because it's not like particularly bad. Like, it's not like off-putting to me because I know what it smells like. But it's more like this is a sign that I'm dirty. And it needs to be fixed. You know
what's fascinating about the apocrine glands that produce sweat?
What?
Is that the smell. So whenever you sweat, whenever your body releases sweat, and I don't remember exactly, I think it's to cool your body down.
Mm-hmm.
But within that sweat, there's microbes, and they're eating the bacteria that's created by the sweat and all the gunk on your body and everything else. So the microbes that your body has are eating the whatever the sweat and the intermingling of the bacteria and everything, and that's what produces the smell.
So it's your sweat and then your body consuming the sweat?
Yeah, it's your body breaking down, the mixture of molecules.
That's much grosser.
Yeah, it's a bunch of bacteria farts.
Ew.
That's what sweat is.
So wait, how did the bacteria live if you don't sweat? Like people that don't ever...
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know enough about that to know like where at what point on the continuum of life and not existing in your armpit sweat they are.
Don't know enough about the apricot gland.
The apricot. Apricots. I wish it smelled like apricots. It'd make exercising a lot more enjoyable.
I really can't tell you what an apricot smells like off the top of my nose.
You know what? Off the top of me nose, the top of me schnoz. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Like I can very easily conjure like grape, like tart and kind of.
I'm just thinking Brussels sprouts, so that's not.
Like an apricot, I feel like I'm
for.
seeing like a peach, like it's very firm and very sensually plump, like an apricot. But I also feel like I don't know, like, oh, you know what I have? I've had dried apricots before, but that's...
oh, that'd be relevant.
But, yeah, they're kind of like, they're kind of sweet, but kind of like muted.
I feel like any smell that I produce, I'm going to think is gross. If it's involuntary coming from my pits.
That's not the case.
If it's involuntary coming from my pits.
You didn't specify which orifice you were talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that there's certain orifices that you revel the explosions of.
When you have a talent.
Listen. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Wasn't it last week where you and I were looking at videos of like the farting guy, like
Yeah.
the Captain Methane?
Yeah, that was too much. When that dude farted for like 55 seconds.
Oh, that wasn't even Captain Mr. Methane. That was just some dude.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking
I remember
about?
the guy we watched who like puts he's wearing a green suit and they put talcum powder on his butt and he does what's called like diaphragm sphincter gasp. He has like
speaking or something.
yeah, it's like diaphragm projecting. It's like this weird skill where they can inhale, air through their anus and then forcefully and willfully, very sonorously and quite tactically emit.
You know that man's definitely shit himself doing that on stage.
I think we were talking about watching that video. Like, what is the Russian roulette of him going doing a live show? I'm sure he has a whole, and that's kind of the glamour that the Hollywood of being Mr. Methane you don't get because I'm sure there's a pre-show, like he has to go into the bathroom and take his anal douche and like flush himself out and get his cheeks ready and do like some warm up do re mi fa sol la ti dos.
Probably eat some beans earlier in the day.
So eat some, dude. I will tell you what. I had some. So I was at my brother's bachelor party. Turns out I don't hate salmon. I don't eat. So the reason that's such a big revelation for John is because John does not eat anything out of the ocean. Like I don't like sushi. I don't like fish. I don't like anything. It all tastes similar to me, and it's gross. And then like a lot of the things that people like shrimp, are actually bottom feeders. They eat detritus and carcasses, and they're like. It's just gross. And so, but I tried salmon that was cooked on a campfire, and it had some lemon and some butter dripped onto it, and I didn't hate it.
Yeah, it's good when it's cooked.
But
it's the raw shit that I'm not a fan of.
But that's butt. I'm saying butt.
Salmon butt?
No, my butt. Like,
oh, did you fart?
But to counter is to say butt. Like I farted a lot, and so was everybody else. It was like Rustler's Rhapsody, where everyone was sitting around eating beans. And,
from salmon?
Yeah. Is that a thing, or is that maybe
I don't
from?
know. I haven't had salmon in a while, but I feel like I would have logged it in my fart journal if I did.
In the old FJ.
Yeah.
I didn't think you had any clean pages.
Oh, I've got several volumes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes way more sense. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect your fastidious documentation.
Yeah. I got file cabinets. Fart cabinet.
And this is when your farty file cabinet. This is when I farted in 1989. As you can see, I wasn't born yet.
It was fartception.
It was the Big Bang.
I don't think salmon's supposed to do that.
Okay, well then maybe it was from all the other food we were eating.
Yeah, I would say it was from. Did you have junk food?
Yeah,
that's what it was. No, salmon's like a very clean meal. Like you probably.
It could have also been my body like responding with shock to such a clean food that it was like we don't know.
Like, John doesn't eat fish food. What?
Get it out of here!
What the fuck is that?
Get out of here! Fart it out of here!
Yeah, salmon's so clean. I don't even think you poop after you eat it.
That's the world. That is not a world I want to live in. I quickly changed my answer.
Just eat more fiber.
Okay,
dude. I hate it when I stop eating fiber and I just don't shit.
You know, I will say the thing that I don't like about not excreting bowel out of my bowel is that your farts take on this like antagonistic character. Like they're not just funny ghost of your foods. Like they become this sinister presence that haunt you and that smell like somebody is holding raw feces like a foot from under your nose.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I don't appreciate about it.
Yeah, because it's just festering.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, just eat more fiber.
Is that the solution?
Yeah, you got to find a healthy balance.
Hydrate, meditate, eat, fibrate.
Fibrate. Yeah, you got to find a nice middle ground because if you eat too much fiber, it can clog you up. But if you don't eat enough fiber, you ain't shitting out.
Yeah, I don't want a bear plug for the winter, but I also don't want things just strolling on out.
Yeah, you need about 40 grams of fiber then.
40.
That's the middle ground. You know where you get those?
Beans
and bananas.
Saw the smile on your face. You know where you get those at, John?
Beans, bananas, broccoli.
I like all those things.
Eat them.
Buy them and then throw them across the roof.
Down the hatch. However much you buy at the store, eat all of it that day.
No remorse, no regrets, no limitations.
Dude, I had 2 jars of peanut butter in 4 days.
That's well, if my GRE math serves me right, Kyle, that's 0.2 a day.
You need to study more.
I mean, a half jar a day is pretty. I feel like that's so. I dated a lady who is not nice to me a lot 10 years ago, and she had a roommate who was a real estate agent, and he would come home from working all day, and that man would sit on the couch and smash peanut butter
with a spoon.
Yes.
Ooh, I feel it.
Just sitting there smashing it, and I guess there's just people out there that like just have that. And I will say, like, I forget about peanut butter and jelly, and then when I have them, I go through like a week-long phase where that's all I eat, and I eat them for dessert because of how sweet they are.
Yes.
And then I forget about them. I promptly forget about them again.
It's
and
probably good.
Then they resurface. But dude, peanut butter is a very sweet nut.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, because they add a bunch of sugar into the nut.
That makes well, but even like the oil, like the natural oil, and like the preserve, like. Well, I guess they always like. Do they always sweeten it, or is it just like is the nut just not naturally?
I mean, it's peanuts. When you eat a handful of peanuts, you think they're sweet? They're salty.
Kind of.
They ain't sweet. You crazy.
Those nuts ain't sweet, baby.
Peanut butter. I think it's something crazy like there's like 1,000 or 2,000 peanuts in a jar of peanut butter because you gotta mush them up.
There's just going to job for Mr. Nut, like Mr. Peen at the. It's two people. The collaborative efforts of Mr. Peen and Mr. Nut, and they have professional nut mushers. Like, do you think that your skills are up to the line work that we do here? We're very professional about our peanuts. Do you think you've got what it become to be a mushier?
Oh, mushy boy. You a creamy or crunchy type of guy?
You know, I'm not even gonna. I don't even know. I'm hesitating for dramatic effect. Like, if you brought anything, okay. Well, if you brought any type of peanut butter, like there's peanut butter that's like mixed with chocolate and other stuff, and like there's peanut butter that has jelly in it, which is like
I'm talking
kind of like which is just an abomination of preservatives.
No.
If you bring anything other than creamy to me, I will slap that out your hand, apologize, pick it up, and ask you to return it.
I can't believe this. I can't find a single other person on this planet that likes crunchy peanut butter.
Why would you want to bite into a paste of fruit preservatives or vegetable preservatives and have there be something that sticks against your roof of your mouth or that you crunch into?
What do you mean? It's still going to stick to your mouth if it's creamy.
Like when you eat like think of toothpaste. Whenever you get a clumpy lump in your toothpaste, are you excited or are you disgusted?
Well, I don't buy lumpy toothpaste on purpose, though. If you got crunchy peanut butter when you want it creamy, I could see you being upset.
Well, but like it's like, but okay, but like, if you're gonna get crunchy peanut butter, why don't you just dump a bunch of peanuts on your jam?
Because it's not peanut butter; it's different.
I think there's more research that needs to be done.
No, I like crunchy peanut butter.
You will not talk me out of this.
You can't stop me. I don't know. It's a texture thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. One of those bottles was creamy, one of them was crunchy, and they both went down at equal speeds.
Oh, you're an equal opportunity peanut mushier.
Yeah.
Connoisseur.
Wow. I think I just wanted to try it again. I mean, it's almost like a different food.
What, the crunchy and creamy?
Yeah, I mean, because like you said, I mean, it's just the texture. It's a texture thing.
Well, but like when I go into a creamy, I know it's going to be late. Oh my God, the butter! It's like a slow motion, like Burger King video. Like the peanut butter gets in the spoon, in the knife, and you dip it in, and you create the nice carving. Yeah, I didn't know there was a thing. Yeah, the swoop. I didn't know there was a name for that action and the artifact of it. And you swoop it and then you spread it on the bread and it just feels so good. And then you take the jelly on the other side and you squash it in there. You get it all stirred up because it's been sticking in your fridge for too long, for too many months. It's a month past expiration, and you slop it out and you grind it on there, and then you eat it, and it's really smooth. But like when you do that with chunky peanut butter, it's like basically like trying to spoon out gravel.
Okay, two things. First of all, I don't eat jelly because it's too sugary. I think of it as I can kind of lie to myself and be like, "Oh, peanut butter, it's kind of healthy." It's not really healthy because of the sugar, but it's got good fat and good protein, and it's a little bit of sugar. But I eat it on really healthy bread, potato bread.
I thought you were gonna say like flatbread or like
No.
what's potato
bread? It's bread made out of potato.
How?
I don't know, but it's really good.
I don't know. I have no
And
idea how they do this.
It's 35 calories a slice. It's like I want to say
that's
like
amazing.
Yeah, I want to say like 10 carbs and like 5 grams of fiber. Yeah, dude, potatoes.
Dude, spuds.
And they taste great. I'll bring some over.
Please do.
I got a guy.
Do you have any with you now?
No, I ate it on the way. Okay, so
Wow.
I didn't know you wanted it.
Kyle, okay, first of all, if you know anything about me, you know as much as I am alive that I am a potato derivative guy. I'm talking French fries. I'm talking tato chips. I'm talking poutine fries. I'm talking wedges. I'm talking scallops. I'm talking mashed. So if
You talking tater tots?
I'm talking tots. If you know that there's other potato derivatives, how have you not the respect for me as a human being and best friend to bring that into my home?
I don't know.
For those of you who can't hear, Kyle just farted. That was his response.
I just didn't think you'd want to try it, but I know now. So back to what I was saying. I don't eat jelly, and I toast that potato bread, so it's pretty easy to spread it on.
Does it taste like spuds?
No, not at all.
It just tastes like bread?
Yeah, and it's white too. It's not like wheat bread. What? Yeah, it's really good.
How is this something that you can only purchase from like a Whole Food store?
Yeah, Kroger.
Kroger's not a Whole Food store.
I know, it's a goof. Yeah, you can get it at Kroger. It's next to the bagels.
Oh, okay.
With all the other bread.
With all the
What do you mean?
Don't patronize me, Kyle.
That's where it is.
I thought it would have been with the other sacks of. You just buy it in a sack like
it's
the
in
other
the
potato.
potato
It's in the potato aisle.
It's in between the fries and the tater tot.
Why don't we? Yeah, that makes so much more sense. We need to arrange items by their byproducts rather than their general category. That makes so much more sense to me.
Just arrange it by the first ingredient.
We go pick up some tater tots, some potato wedges, some French fries, and some bread, some potato bread.
All right, let's go to the sugar aisle. That's where everything will be.
Oh, that's a world that I think would just streamline a lot of the confusion.
So I had a whole loaf of that too,
Yeah.
with maybe 2 loaves with those 2 things. So I got a lot of fiber, and the beans, and the veggies.
Sounds like you've got a balanced diet.
No,
You eating any fruits?
no. Oh, bananas.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't you just say you horked down 7 nanners?
Yeah, dude. So you know what? It is kind of balanced right now, but I still don't think it's enough protein. So I ate a whole chicken yesterday. That's my move.
To buy a whole Kroger chicken.
Yeah, I've got this thing where if I buy it, I feel like I have to complete whatever it is. You know, I don't like saving it for later.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
you're a compulsive consumer.
No,
Not consumer, but like in terms of like ingestion.
I guess, yeah.
Ingester and
that can of beans I have at home that's 3 pounds. I don't want to pop it open because I'm gonna eat those 3 pounds of beans.
Oh, you don't want to create waste.
Yeah, we'll say that. I think it's more of a goal, like a completionist
make
thing.
paste, not waste.
I think it's more of a completionist thing.
Oh, you want to if you. So you refuse to back down from the challenge?
You know,
a whole chicken.
I honestly
and
think
3 pounds of beans.
I honestly think that's what it is. I think in my mind it's a challenge.
I think that's a winning mindset, except as it applies to dieting, because you have to moderate your portions.
Yeah, it's probably why I used to be morbidly obese. Because I would take on these massive challenges and then not move for 3 days. While also horking down Big Red 2 liters.
Ooh.
I used to average, John, before you knew me, back when I was big boy, I used to average a 2 liter a day.
Of Big Red specifically?
Yeah.
Dude, I bet your insides look like a God, dude, I bet they look like a candy cane that's been sitting in Coke for like 30 years.
Yeah, I was gross, man. I don't know if I hope I didn't do irreversible damage.
I bet if they cut you open, they're gonna find like the outer logo of a big red on the inside of your organs across, and everything is stained slightly red and
Just
pink.
slightly red. Like it looks pretty healthy in here, but some trauma went down in his in his mid-teens.
Oh, dude, I've never ever liked Big Red. It literally, even me as a kid, who all kids are like candy sugar fiends. Like it felt like I was doing something wrong. Like I needed to have like
correct.
every bottle of T Red needs to come with an insulin shot.
Yeah. Have you ever had Big Blue?
Is there like a whole genre of sodas I'm unaware about, which is just a superlative in a color? Have you had Grand Yellow? Or have you had large chartreuse? No, I have not. I didn't know there was any other.
Oh, Big Blue. I think they still make it. I think it was just like a marketing thing Big Red did, but it's blue, and it's everything that's red is blue, and it tastes exactly like Big Red. It's just Big Blue. It freaked me out when I drank it.
No, what I remember, it freaked, but you drank it. You were like,
oh, I mean, I
probably shouldn't be doing this. Glug glug. Do that remind? Do you know the I would say the coolest like off-brand or like branded thing was, you remember back when Halo 1 or 2 came out and it was all over like
Code Red, Mountain Dew Code Red.
Yeah.
That used to be Zach's
They had the Chief on it.
Yeah. Zach used to pound those things. I haven't seen Zach indulge in much besides like a half a sleeve of Oreos at a time.
Yeah.
But he used to kill Mountain Dew Code Reds. But that was back when I was still horking down 2 liters, so I couldn't say anything.
You guys were enabling each other. He was like, wow, I can't believe you're drinking 2 liters. You're like, I can't believe you're drinking something with a fake imaginary guy on it, with like an imaginary soldier on it.
As we were playing that imaginary soldier.
You know what, though? I will say that when I was like in my teens and I got my car and when I was 16 and drove over to a friend's house, like, man, there was no bliss and like there was no heaven, like being an Elijah, if you will, like buying a bunch of snacks and just like all the soda, all the chips, ordering pizza or White Castle and staying up till 5 a.m. and just playing Halo 2 multiplayer.
Like split screen?
Mm-hmm.
I never really got behind split screen with friends. I was always more of an Xbox Live guy, doing my own thing
I
in my
hear
house.
that you were pretty good back in the day.
I was. Definitely.
That's all you want to say about it?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were gonna maybe mention your ranking or your standing.
I mean, I was really good. I went to like I think all the tournaments that I went to, I won, but I mean, they were all like local tournaments. They weren't anything crazy.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Dude, I will never forget, so I grew up with Super Smash Brothers. Like I played Super Smash Brothers on the 64 when it launched, when I was like 6 or 7 or 8 years old. And I played the one on the GameCube, Melee. And then I played Brawl. And then I played the Wii version, the 3DS version, and then the newest one, Ultimate.
Mm-hmm. You're probably pretty good by now.
Oh God, that's hilarious, Kyle. And so what I've realized is like I was not good, and I had several friends that were so good, and I was like, well, maybe I'm just playing against some really good people. And then I played with other people, and I was like, oh, maybe my other friends are just really good at this game too, because like every friend group has their best Smash player and their mains. And then I realized after playing with our friend group and saying, like, I just suck ass at this game. I have never put so much time into anything in my life. I must have put hundreds of hours cumulatively over my entire lifespan to be absolute dog shit at something. And it like literally is so frustrating when we all get together and everyone's like, yeah, we should play Smash. And I'm like, oh, the ghost of my failed path. Like, it's like,
but it's not like, oh, the ghost of my fell pass. It's like, oh, I'm going to beat that ass, you say.
No.
Knowing that.
Okay,
yes.
but my strategy is to talk smack even though I'm going to lose, because I know I'm going to lose, so I talk smack anyway because I don't want to not get that enjoy. I don't want to not be able to have that experience of talking smack. It's fun.
Why don't you try to stay humble until you win and then talk smack?
I'm not going to win.
If you don't talk shit at first, I bet you will.
Nope.
Okay.
You've seen my ratio.
I've never seen you not talk shit first.
It's like 1 to 20.
And people wouldn't be so compelled. I wouldn't go after you so hard in these games if you didn't talk so much shit beforehand.
I don't think that I go out of my way to demean the
You
general
don't. No, it's nothing
sportsmanship.
crazy. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, you're at like a 2 when you're talking shit. But just
Yeah,
knowing,
it's not even. It's more like doo doo. Like
Yeah.
I'm like an elephant flinging doo doo from its tail. Like it's not even like if there was like a scale of 10 is like stuffing shit down someone's throat. I'm doing the equivalent of taking them to like a nice restaurant and having them order a poo poo platter.
yeah. But even that, just me knowing what is gonna happen, and then you talking any amount of shit just makes me want to do it so much more. And I come at you so hard.
You're like,
John.
oh, that's cute. Oh, I'm included in that. Oh, okay. Well, just so you know, it is. I will grind you down.
Okay, you want to throw it on right now while we're recording?
No, I was saying that was your perspective. For
Oh,
me.
okay.
No.
Thought you were starting again.
No.
I mean, that is the level. That is a 1 out of 10 shit talking. I will grind you down.
I will eat your young.
I remember the first time when we got Ultimate, when it first came out, we called up you. Remember that?
Called up you.
Called up you, John.
What kind of grammar was that? We called up you. We did.
Called up you. Want to smash, friend?
You will maybe win. Ooh, funny joke.
And we said we're gonna get smashed.
That's a Game Grumps reference.
I know. We said we were gonna get smashed, and John said,
I was
"Oh my god,
over the moon."
He said, "I have played this game for hundreds of hours." Pretty much the same spiel you just got. Just he hadn't realized he was bad yet.
I just thought maybe I'd define my group where I was the number one player.
And he told us how bad he was gonna beat us. And I had played before at the old house I was at. We'd played like 2 versions ago or something. All of us had played, but none of us had really taken it seriously or been any good at it. And like I was almost always the first person out, but John wasn't going to get there for like another 6 hours or something because he had to exercise or whatever. And
yeah, back then time was kind of like it was now, except people actually had lives going on.
Yeah, people actually expected you to be at some sort of schedule.
Yeah, I've kind of always been this way.
I feel like you're getting better though. Well, actually, you haven't told me you were going to be somewhere at a time in a while. That's why I feel like it's better. I'm going to assume you're getting better at it.
If you set the bar, if you remove any data points, it's almost as if there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, the reason you're never late at my house anymore is because you haven't came to my house in 7 months. I've always came over here.
You haven't invited me over.
I did that one time when we first moved in.
I came over.
Yeah. Oh, you want to go to my house?
Yeah.
You got to be quiet.
No. You know I can.
I know. That's why.
I used to wake up my friends' moms because I would yell so loud at 3 a.m. while we were just playing like Burnout Paradise.
My house is so quiet. Like I strongly consider whether I want to get up and pee in the middle of the night because
it'll shake the entire foundation.
I'm afraid it's going to wake up the neighbor, dude. It's so quiet in there.
It'll be like throwing a metal ball into a bunch of pots and pans.
Yeah, I've never lived in a house so quiet. Like going up the stairs, like it creaks everything. When I open the door to get inside, it's like unlocking a 1,000-year-old tomb. It's like it's terrible.
Sounds like there's like an anachronistic, like a pressure lock on it.
Yes, exactly. And my roommate still works a normal job right now.
Good for him. He's the backbone of the economy.
He
right
is,
now.
but I'm just a piece of shit that wakes up at like.
Yeah, but you're not on unemployment.
No, I know. I'm just a piece of shit in the fact that I do nothing all day and I still have the ability to wake him up at night.
Well, maybe have you tried peeing on the side of the bowl
That's what I
instead
do.
of the water?
That's what I do.
Like a ninja.
It's a different loud noise.
You know what? When I was an undergrad, this was an excellent strategy that I developed. So I didn't because it was in an old cockroach infested building, and they would come at you at your most vulnerable.
I know. I was there.
They would come out of
Morrison?
the drains. Yes, they would come out of the drains, and when you were showering.
Mm-hmm. I know.
And anyway, so like everyone had a room, but it was like the old school dormitories where there was only like one set of showers and one set of toilets on a floor. So like it's not like these new fancy suites where everyone has their own toilet or shower. Like we all had to we all shared, like dozens of men shared like one common shower and one whatever. So What was I talking about?
Your strategy for peeing at night. Would you pee in the shower?
Nope.
Okay, good.
I would drink a bunch of soft drinks, and then
Okay.
I would keep the bottles, and I would urinate in them.
Oh, I can't do that.
And then whenever it got too full or I had to pee and I had topped them all off, I would take them to the shower with me and dump them down the drain.
So you would have been
at like 3 a.m. in the morning, and then I had my own little. Then I didn't have to go pee, and then I didn't have to go share the nasty common shower area. So maybe you just need to pee.
Okay. That's a good idea. Here's why I can't do that though. Okay.
I've already got another thing you could do if this doesn't work.
It won't, but I'm going to explain the story first. So growing up, my mom was a hoarder. Okay. So yeah. So in my brain somehow I tune out clutter.
Oh no! So you'll just have like fortresses of pee bottles.
Yeah, I would. No, like I'll walk into my room and be like, one day I see it for what it is. Like the lens comes off, and I'm like, oh my god, it's terrible in here.
I have a problem.
And I have to pick up like 20 Powerade bottles off the floor. Yeah, so that as gross as that is with empty Powerade bottles, I think full pee bottles would be much worse. So
well, okay. So my second strategy is if that one's not palatable, is that your bed is right next to a window.
yeah.
So all you need to do, all you need to do is create a small tube with an open funnel at one end, and then you just need to pee into that, and so it runs down the side of the house into the drain.
So that won't work either because right under my window is the front doors. And our driveway.
You would actually have to run like a pipe, like a hose around to like where the ditch is, or where like the runoff is, and then it's just part of the nature, baby.
How much? Huh. So okay, so if I wasn't going to get right up on the window and pee down the tube, how much pressure do you think I would need to get it to go up a tube if I wanted to do it laying down in my bed?
So what I've learned is that with a catheter in,
Oh,
all things are possible.
no.
So like you just need to get a catheter.
I'm just gonna wake up my roommate. I'm not gonna do that.
I don't know, man. That sounds like a pretty the lesser of the greatest of the evils.
I'm not inserting a catheter.
Well, that is your choice to make, my friend. I definitely think it'd be the easiest.
I'll tell you right now, though, I will not shit in the middle of the night.
Sound like a battleship firing on another battleship.
I did it once, and it was I could hear Curtis sighing because
just tear it up. You just hear.
It's like I gotta work in 3
He just like talks at a conversational voice in his room, and you can hear him like he's in the room with you. He's like, I have to get up in a few hours, Kyle. This is extremely disrespectful.
I'm so sorry.
He's like, will you stop yelling?
Well, first of all, lower your voice.
You are out of control.
Something else, another problem I have, I've literally woken up and echoed. My cracky knees have echoed through the house.
It sounds like you need to get some white noise producing fans.
I've got fans on, but it's just
get you a boombox and record several hours of you screaming. And just put it on the boombox and play that all day until you get used to it.
There we go. That could work. Or I could just hang up like big old quilts on the wall.
Yeah, like soundproof it. Like like where it absorbs and distributes the sound.
Like a big old thick styrofoam thing. Maybe there's a market for making like walls, like extra walls to put on your walls. Like extra walls to put on your walls to quiet things down. You know what I mean?
Have you ever tried? Welcome. If your walls too loud, come down to Walls for Your Walls. Quiet those walls down.
I'm not using like half the space in my room. I could shrink her down.
You were like the king of occupying minimal, otherwise uninhabitable spaces.
It's a challenge, man. Like that attic I lived in, that's my crowning achievement.
Oh, no, but you had so much space up there, and you lived in like one unfinished nook.
Because I literally would have died if I didn't. It was exposed to the outside world, John.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was 110 degrees in the summer and like 20 degrees in the winter.
Oh,
but in that little room...
I wish that you would actually vividly describe it, because like when I'm remembering this now, I remember how incredibly like crazy it was that you lived in that.
Yeah,
slum.
and you know the only reason I did, there was a whole room downstairs that was unoccupied. Do you remember that?
Oh, that's right. Why didn't you? What do you?
Because when we were moving in, I had the idea to move up there. I was like, oh, this will be cool to be like my own apartment up here, because it was like the size of the entire downstairs, and it was a nice big open attic, and it had one little like a quarter done room in the corner.
Yeah,
like, there weren't
it
even
had
walls.
like the wall. It had the facades up.
It had the framing,
The frame,
but
that's right.
no drywall or anything. And I was like, I'm just gonna live up here. And as we were moving in, like I realized, like, I got like my bed up there and a couple things, and I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work. And then Zach's dad said, he's like, yeah, he's not gonna make it through the winter up here. And I was like, I will die before I come downstairs now.
You took that as a personal challenge.
Yes,
You inconvenienced and lived like a literal upscale hobo for almost a year simply because someone's dad uttered a disparaging word against what any other person would have rationally thought.
Not someone's dad, Zach's dad. All right. And I took that as a personal challenge. I take odd personal challenges seriously. Things that will not better my life at all if I complete. Only things that don't matter at all.
Like, man, look at all those marshmallows on the floor. I bet Kyle can't even get half of them up in his ass, and he let your eyes widen, and you're like, I need you all to leave right now. I've got some science to explore.
I need one witness.
No. You stay. You stay.
Yeah, but I got in that corner in the little framed room and hung up like all my covers except one along the walls to keep heat in there, and had a fan in there in the summer and a couple heaters in the winter, and yeah, it was rough. You could see my breath, but yeah, that's right. When I had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night when I'd walk out.
Yeah, I was gonna say you still had to leave that upstairs and walk down to use the bathroom.
Dude, I remember going.
Unless you developed an intricate and smart system like I was explaining earlier.
No, I didn't. Wait, did I? No, I never peed up there. Joxer peed up there a lot. Zach's dog. He shit up there, and then we threw the shit out on the roof. So the day
seems sensible and responsible.
Hold on. Let me rephrase that. He shit up there on the day we were moving out, and the landlord was coming through for an inspection. And I was just gonna, take it outside. But Zach was like, "No, it's fine." He picked it up and just threw it on the roof outside. And the landlord came up there. Like, I don't know why he came up to inspect the attic. Not like anyone would fucking live up there. And he came up there and opened the window and stuck his head out. And the first thing he said, "Is that shit out here?"
Are you serious?
And it's clear that it's not bird shit. It's definitely dog shit up on an inaccessible
and Joxer
roof.
takes like human-sized loads.
That's
dude.
my boy.
Wow.
Taught him well.
What was the recovery from that? You're just like,
oh, I wasn't there for it. Zach was like, yeah. That was it.
yeah, that's poop.
That seems to be poop. That seems to be fecal matter.
I love that. It's like he had an eye. It's like something is telling me that I should go to the. Something is telling me to look out this. Is that poop?
Yeah.
that's
yes, sir.
Wow.
So that was the harshest condition I lived in. The second harshest was the closet. You remember the closet?
I do remember that. Yep, that was we were like, oh, who's living there? That was when I was first starting to meet you. They were like, oh, that's Kyle. And I was like, Kyle lives in the closet? And they're like, yeah. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, it was this little tiny room.
And in like a 3-story house.
Well, actually, I think there was another room available. I think there was like 1 or 2 rooms vacant, but I had just gotten a job as a busser at a bar, so I didn't have much money. And the landlord said I could live in this shitty little closet for $200 a month.
200?
$200 a month. You remember that?
That's very reasonable.
Yeah, dude. I know. That was everything. That was all the bills and rent.
That was a fixed cost, like 200, and
200.
you got to live in the mansion with everyone else?
Yep.
Wow.
I didn't have a door on it at the time, but after a week, I finally. Oh, Curtis helped me put the door on. Actually.
Oh, what a good
I know.
friend.
That was nice. That was back before I didn't know how to use power tools.
he brought fire to the cavemen.
He was like, "When are you gonna put this door on?" I was like, "I haven't got around to it yet." And he's like, "You want some help?" And I was like, "Please."
He saw the message in your language. He was like, "You don't know how to do this,
Dude. I think I hung a curtain over the door frame like a hippie, and I'm pretty sure I'd still live like that if Curtis never came along. I'd still be in that closet.
Wow, look at you now. You have a 2-story house that echoes like the gates of hell when you do anything in
No remote living conditions. We do have a little Harry Potter closet under the stairs.
I know, I've seen it.
I could live in that.
I feel like you're just saying this because you're hoping someone's going to challenge you and be like, no, you can't. And then you'll just throw whatever you're holding down and be like, I'm packing up right now.
Oh, my God. Maybe. I mean, if it was reduced rent, yeah.
You know what? You'd probably be really excellent at living in like high density other countries like Japan.
Oh, definitely. Those little cube apartments they live in. I'd be great at that.
You would love that. You could hear everybody on every floor on every day talking and doing everything.
It'd be fantastic. Those are like $5 a night or something to stay in.
Oh, I have no idea. I was talking about like the actual like apartments.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'd want a place where I could set up all my stuff and I wouldn't have to leave. Where I could hermit if I wanted to. Yeah, I could live in a van, could live in a U-Haul
down by the river.
I don't think I could live in a car.
No, you're a spacious boy. You like to spread those wings.
Yeah, I need to at least to be able to stretch out when I lay down.
Oh, well, yeah, I feel like that's human nature. Like I can't imagine having to like tuck your knees up.
If my bed can fit in it, I can live in it.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
That's what people do in their like they vans. Like we have some friends, mutual friends that are like converting a van
a school
bus, and they're gonna travel and live in there.
Yeah,
it's cool. That's the '60s dream.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if they know they're late.
Well, the good news about being a hippie of any generation is that no matter what prevailing ideology or social climate exists, you exist below or outside of it, so you can just live the way that I feel like everyone comes to the same conclusions to be off the grid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think that's cool.
My version of living off the grid would be in like a cabin in Alaska or something.
Oh, you had me until why Alaska?
Because there's a bunch of
deer up there.
Not really. There's moose, dude. You know how much meat you get from a moose?
Assuming that you survive the encounter with said moose.
First of all, if you have a gun, you're good. I'd be using a bow,
so you're not bare fist brawling these deer and
why would I
moose?
do that?
Because that's how a man fights, Kyle.
You're afraid of Alaska.
I'm not afraid of it. It's just cold.
All right. Well,
you're afraid of Alaska.
I would definitely have a bow and arrow.
Oh, you're going to use some primitive hunting tools? Why not just get yourself a brass knuckle and go down there and get your meat the way you want it?
Because a moose does weigh like 1,600 pounds.
Oh, well, maybe it's not a fair fight then, is it, if you use a gun? Give him a gun, too.
Okay.
We'll see who wins.
I'll give him a gun. That seems fair. But anyway, since you asked, if you kill a moose and you harvest it, 800 pounds of meat on average.
How much was the deer? 60? 800?
800, John.
Yeah, you know what? I also see that thing being the size of a double-decker London bus.
Yeah, you quarter it and take it out.
How are you going to carry 800? Oh, you do
you
it like
quarter it and take it out.
You explain that quartering. Okay, gotcha.
One leg at a time.
I was under the impression that you were going to go out there with your bare fisticuffs and you were going to square up Mano-y Dero.
That's not how anyone hunts.
What do you mean that's not how people hunt?
That's not considered hunting.
Are you serious?
That's considered fighting a moose.
Okay, I don't understand. If the outcome is the same, what's the difference?
The difference is the outcome won't be the same.
Well, then maybe you shouldn't have such an unfair advantage.
What's the unfair advantage?
That you're using human hunting implements and tools.
So could I use a spear?
That's still an implement. Well, I guess. Okay, so if you're fighting like a deer with antlers, do deers attack other deers with their antlers? But do they attack animals with antlers?
That's the only thing they have. What do you think a moose does?
They run. They're prey animals.
What, a moose?
No, I'm thinking of deer.
Deer kill people.
Deer do not kill people.
Deer charge people and kill them every year.
I want to see some statistics.
Look at your phone.
Okay.
Look it up.
Oh my God! If that's true, I would hate to be a deer goring statistic.
Wouldn't that suck?
No disrespect to anyone who's been gored by a deer.
No disrespect to the dead people.
Deer attack.
You know, one person a year on average dies from a vending machine falling on them.
One.
Yes, one. And the number is one, a solid one. And that is why it is either my friend in the military was telling me either I can't remember if like vending machines are just outlawed on military bases or if you're just literally like it is against the law in the military to shake them. Because if you shake them, it will fall on someone and kill them.
What are you talking about?
You're not listening?
No, I was looking up the statistics.
In the military, either they're outlawed on bases or like it's like a military, like a big deal, like crime to shake it, like to shake a vending machine if something's stuck in it.
Oh, gotcha.
Because they know someone will tip it over on them.
Wow. So animal rated cause of death by the national average. It doesn't have statistics. It says you're more likely to be killed by an animal. The odds of being killed by an animal in America are like 1.4 million to 1. However, deer and certain flying insects are responsible. So deer are responsible for 120 deaths a year in average.
Yeah, some of those though. 120 doesn't seem like a lot if you're factoring in. I was thinking like if you run into a deer going fast, like in your car. I don't know if they consider that on there though.
Dude, you know who the number 2 is right underneath of that?
Is it mosquitoes?
It's bees, wasp, and hornets at 58.
Oh, for people with allergies.
Yeah, and then under that is a dog.
That
And
makes
then
sense.
cows have gotten a bloodlust.
It's probably for people trying to tip them, and they fall, and then the
Dude,
cow.
bears
steps on
are
'em.
way down on the list.
Bears don't maul people as much as like.
But when they do, it's horrific.
Oh yeah. Do you know the dangerous bear?
Is it the brown bear?
Yeah,
I
the
took
grizzly. You know the difference between a brown bear and a grizzly bear?
Grizzlies go gar and browns go brr.
There's no difference.
Oh. Oh, now I look like an idiot.
It's the same thing.
Wow. I could have sworn that my analysis would have gotten me the right answer.
Black bears are little bitches apparently.
Hmm.
No, they'll still kill you.
Well, you
though.
see, I value the sanctity of animal life, Kyle, so I don't view them as foes. I view them as these beautiful, majestic curiosities to be preserved and saved.
Oh yeah, go up and talk to them, shake their hand.
I don't want to do that. I know that they have animalistic natures.
Mm.
But I don't think that going in and puncturing a hole through it with a tube that fires tiny projectiles is fair.
So is it more fair to let it live potentially another few months and get mauled to death in the wild by another bear and it die a slow, agonizing death instead of be dead in 3 minutes after an arrow goes through its heart?
Well, I think if we had an actuary table to determine what the chances of each of those are, I mean, then I would say you're still imposing a human-contrived end termination to their lifespan.
Do you think that animals in the wild die of old age ever?
Well, you and I have already talked about this, and my
Yeah.
answer is that I have a very Disney outlook on this, and I
Yeah.
like to think that they do.
They don't.
But
ever.
apparently that's not what happens.
Not once. Not a single wild animal has died of old age, John. They
What do
start.
you don't know that.
Yes, I do. That once it's literally survival of the fittest out there. Like as soon as they get past their prime and they get a little slower, they get a little slower every year. As soon as they get a little slower, they're going to be at the back of the pack when it gets attacked, and they're going to be the one.
I
that
like
goes
to
in.
think that all the other animals are eschewing their pure primal natures, and that they see that Papa Bear is moving a little slower this season, and they form a protective phalanx around him.
No, that's not how it works. They see Papa Bear's going a little slower, and they kill him to usurp his throne. They don't give a shit.
Oh, they're just like people.
No, they're dumb. Bears are dumb, dude. You can see it in their eyes, and their dumb little eyes.
They're stupid, tiny little dumb bear eyes. Oh.
So I guess I won't be taking you hunting.
No, if you do, I will sabotage you.
That might be fun for the story.
Yeah, it would be like, so I killed the deer anyway. John never stopped screaming.
Could use you as bait for a bear.
Oh, no.
Well, if you want to go talk to it.
I don't want to talk to it. I just want to preserve its sanctity of life and its role in the ecosystem, and that it's a beautiful evolutionary byproduct of hundreds of thousands of years.
Do you know how like the gaming commission works and all that? I have to like buy a tag and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they have like certain amounts out there. Like
I said yeah, but I have no idea other
Okay,
than I
cool.
know that you do have to buy, and you can only buy so many a season and blah, blah, blah.
yeah, so the reason they monitor that. So in Kentucky, for example, like white-tailed deer, there's so many here. Like Kentucky's one of the best places to hunt for white-tailed deer. There's so many here that they don't really have to regulate it much, but they still make you buy a tag so they can regulate how many's going down, how many's still out there, and they can get an idea of like population control. But for bears in Kentucky, there's like several different hunting zones, and you can only, I think in total every season, you can only kill like 6 or 8 bears, like in Kentucky, can die a year because that's how they're monitoring the population and controlling it. But if you don't kill those 6 or 8 bears, it's going to slowly snowball out of control, and they're going to be predatory to other animals, and it's going to mess up the
Don't
population.
bears just like eat like grubs and berries and stuff?
No.
It's gonna flat out deny.
No, black bears eat more berries, but like it's different time. Like before, when they're about to hibernate, I think black bears eat more berries. But no, grizzly bears will eat other bears.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude.
Bear diets. Most of their diet consists of grasses, roots, berries, and insects. This
Black
will
bear.
also eat fish and mammals, including carrion. And easily develop a taste for human foods and that's the black bear, and will easily develop a taste for human foods and garbage. Is that what you just said?
Yes, it's not listening.
I'm reading. I can't do. What do you think I can simultaneously do multiple processes?
Yeah. So, yeah, it's controlled. It's regulated.
I understand that animals have to be entrapped and imperiled in zoos, because part of that, and I got this from my mom, and I think it's true, is that certain amount of animals have to be take one for the team, so to speak, so that human beings can revel in the beauty of the animals. Because otherwise they would just be seeing these pictures and they're like, I don't care if it's dead or not. Like, I don't know. It just looks cool. But like when they see it in a relatively pseudo-natural habitat, they can understand, to a degree, that these things exist and that they deserve to be alive. And, I also understand that, we live, given the way that humans have propagated, that we have less forest space, and that a lot of, the husbandry and agriculture and horticulture can be destroyed by these invasive native species that were here before we were here, although some of the, different animals we brought overseas with us and stuff, but that we helped immigrate. But I just, I guess I just like to pretend that it's not as violent or graphic or as inhuman as it is. Maybe that's just what helps me sleep at night.
What helps me sleep at night is how good steak tastes.
Is that what you go to? You have an de steak that you spray on your pillow before you go to bed.
I got a
every night?
steak candle.
That's disgusting. You light it and you're like, is that a prime rib seared?
Dude, I think zoos honestly are more unethical than hunting.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Okay.
I think they are pretty. I mean, animals are just in these microscopic habitats, and they develop all these offset and displaced behaviors and anxiety and depression, and end up hurting or mutilating themselves.
Yeah, it's just another form of factory farming. You're just farming cash from people instead of animal meat.
Yeah. That's true. And I mean,
but it is kind of educational, so I see
it is. I just think that human nature is like when you go to the zoo as a kid, you're just like, oh, look at all these crazy things. And then when you go in as an adult, you're sad.
Yeah, that's
you go,
true.
and it's like there's not really ever a medium where you go and you're like, I'm going to use this as a way to educate myself. Like, I just feel like that doesn't exist, or maybe that's all in like the presentation or how, I don't know. But yeah.
Maybe in the future with VR, we can get rid of zoos.
That would be amazing. Just have like a virtual bot running around in the woods.
Yeah.
That's like, that would be really awesome. The animals would get used to it because it never poses a threat.
Yeah.
And they would obviously be terrified of it for a while, but then they would just be like, oh, what's up, weird dog?
Yeah.
Running through the woods with a camera on its face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anything else, Kyle? Any other crazy thoughts you got in that noggin?
I'm sure I could come up with something.
Oh, the short version is Kyle and I are not winning our weight losing competition.
No, one of us has to be winning.
I think it's probably you.
It's me.
Because I was down. Wow, that smile. You're like, it's me.
That's the bean smile.
That's the bean. Dude, I was down to like 192, and then I weighed myself like when I got back from the bachelor party, and I'm like up to 196, dude. It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
I rolled my ankle at the skate park last Thursday because I'm 31 and I still go to the skate park because I'm a cool kid. I'm a cool young slash adult, not young at all. And everyone tells me how dangerous it is, and I go anyway, and I always roll my ankle.
You know it's bad for your arthritis, right?
You know you're not going to be able to bust that trick with that cane.
And did you bring your training wheel skateboard?
It just has like 2 wheels on the side, just keeps it stable. Oh, that's hilarious. But I haven't been able to exercise as much. But my arm is feeling better, so I should probably still wait another month.
Couple more weeks.
Okay.
I would say
It's feeling a lot better, though. I know. I just didn't expect it to take this long. It's been 3 months.
I know, but you had to change one thing.
Not lift, not exercise, not lift weights.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, I remember what it is. I will, that I can never do.
But I was right.
I don't think Kyle. I don't.
There's a correlation,
I don't
John.
think that there is.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
Well, there is.
Well, I'm not gonna. I get the last word. Last word.
Dude, my calf is so tight.
It's looking real tight.
I need to use that foam roller that
My
has
calf's
not a
looking-
single bit of foam on it.
It's not a foam roll. Oh no, that's just like a knobby, like torture.
Yeah, I feel like it's a medieval foam roller.
It was really helpful. But
Oh, it is. No, it's great. Thank you for letting me borrow it.
yeah, of course.
I'm gonna go use it on my calf.
I did not think that was the C word you were going to say, and I appreciate that it was below the waist. Use it on my calf. Well, is there anything else we wanted to touch on in this bonusode of unstructured shenaniganry? I was going to say hooliganery.
Tomfoolery.
You didn't say that.
No. I hope you guys liked our actual episode, our professional episode this week.
It gets really in depth. Kyle and I get really in depth into the topic, and we spend a lot of time researching it and getting it ready to go. So
yeah,
we hope you really enjoy it. Check it out. It's Is There Life After Death?
Mm-hmm.
And
that wasn't me answering that. It was agreeing you should check it out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spoil.
Yeah,
my
no.
answer.
Yeah, you need to go in with an open mind because we discuss a lot of different potential realities and a lot of different concepts as it pertains to.
We're pretty good at hitting all the angles on it, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, and as we always have, please check out the any other episode. Again, they're not sequential. You can check them out. Just pick a title, and if it seems interesting to you, go for it.
Yeah. And I think this is how we're gonna do bonusodes in the future. Just unstructured.
Yeah, it did feel kind of freeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot. I'd like more structure in the sense I'd like for you to wear pants, but
this I cannot do.
we can't always get what we want.
That's right, but you can get another episode next week.
Bum, 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 bum.
Thank you guys so much as always. If you like what you heard, drop a like, leave a subscribe, and email us, send us a fax even.
Yeah.
Kyle's got a fax machine.
I do.
I like that I said that like it's like this cool. Like, Kyle's got one.
No, I got one. A SR78. You know what I'm talking about?
I was trying to make a joke, but I couldn't think of anything that sounds like a legitimate serial number. I was like, man, this guy does have a fax machine. All right, with that in mind, we love you guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.